Welcome back to Savage Tales Animal Encounters, the channel that brings the wild, untamed, and downright terrifying straight to your screen. I am your host. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Today, we're diving deep, literally, into a heart-stopping encounter with one of nature's most ancient predators, the American alligator. This is not your average gator encounter. This is a story of survival, a testament to the raw power of instinct, and a chilling reminder of the respect we owe these prehistoric creatures. We're headed to the murky depths of the Miaka River, where one diver's quest for ancient treasures takes a sudden, terrifying turn. This is a story that will leave you breathless, questioning, and utterly captivated. Buckle up, folks, because what you're about to hear will stay with you long after the video ends. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you find yourself on the edge of your seat, and share it with your friends, if you dare. Let's descend into the depths of this harrowing tale of Jeffrey Heim and his life and death struggle with a 9-foot alligator. Jeffrey Heim, an experienced diver with a passion for fossil hunting, sets out on a sunny Florida morning. His goal: uncover megalodon teeth, remnants of a prehistoric giant, hidden beneath the river's placid surface. I turn the teeth I find into beautiful jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and apparel, and then donate to an amazing non-profit that supports shark welfare, says Heim. The air is thick with humidity, the sun already blazing in a cloudless sky. The river, a mirror reflecting the blue, holds secrets beneath its surface, whispering tales of a time long gone. Jeffrey checks his gear one last time. Oxygen tank, mask, fins, all in perfect condition. He straps on his weight belt, the familiar heft a comforting pressure. He wades into the cool water, each step kicking up a cloud of silt that dances and dissipates in the sunlight filtering through the water's surface. His heart thrums with anticipation, the thrill of the hunt coursing through him. The main focus has always been my hunt for massive megalodon shark teeth. That's what I was looking for in Florida's Miaka River, he states. I'd found plenty of teeth in this river before, but I'd always gone with someone who was much more experienced in river diving than me. This time I decided to go alone, which was not smart. He takes a final deep breath, the air warm and sweet in his lungs, then disappears beneath the surface. The silence of the underwater world envelops him. Only the sound of his own breathing and the occasional chirp of a startled fish break the stillness. He moves gracefully, his body suspended in the water, weightless and free. The bottom sediments shift with his every movement, creating small clouds that drift like phantoms in the water. Then, boom, with a force so hard it felt like a boat had hit him, a shadow long and dark, gliding and travelling with the speed of a jet through the water. The giant reptile bit down on Heim's head, fracturing his skull. Jeffrey can feel his heart pounding against his ribs, a primal fear gripping him. His eyes, wide with alarm, struggle to make sense of the shape emerging from the depths. The shadow resolves itself into a massive form, an American alligator, its 9-foot length astonishing. Its eyes, black and pitiless, fix on Jeffrey, unblinking, predatory. Its prehistoric armor, rough and ancient, seems to absorb the light, making it appear even more menacing. Jeffrey's mind races, his training kicking in, reminding him to remain calm, to avoid sudden movements. But fear, cold and sharp, claws at the edges of his composure. Time seems to distort, stretching out the seconds into an eternity. Jeffrey feels the blast of the enormous alligator, a gulf of primal fear separating them. The gator's snout, studded with sharp teeth, is a weapon, a reminder of the creature's raw power. Its muscular tail, hidden in the murky water, could propel it forward with incredible speed. He can feel his pulse quicken, his breath catches in his throat, the hiss of the regulator suddenly loud in the silence of the underwater world. I came up from a dive, and I'd just get blasted by what felt like a propeller, like a boat going 50 miles per hour, says Heim. It pulled me down with my mask off. You never understand the power of a wild animal like that until you're in its mouth. The alligator, its jaws revealing rows of sharp, serrated teeth. A low growl, barely audible but unmistakable, rumbles through the water, vibrating in Jeffrey's chest. It's a sound that speaks of ancient power, of a predator staking its claim. The message is clear. This is its domain, and Jeffrey is an intruder. Adrenaline surges through Jeffrey's veins, jolting him into action. He remembers his training. Heim remained calm and didn't struggle wildly. He thought that would have triggered the gator's predator instincts, and he knew not to move fast or panic from diving in saltwater near sharks. Every instinct screams at him to flee, to bolt for the surface, but he knows that would be a fatal mistake. He has to outsmart the predator, to use his wits against its brute strength. He averts his gaze, focusing on a point just beyond the alligator's head, refusing to meet its eyes. He raises his hands slowly, palms outward, a gesture of submission, a plea for peace. His heart feels like it's about to burst out of his chest, each thump a drumbeat against his eardrums. He focuses on his breathing, counting each inhale and exhale, trying to slow the frantic pace. Slowly, cautiously, he begins to back away, never taking his eyes off the massive reptile. Each movement is measured, deliberate, a delicate dance between fear and survival. The alligator, its gaze unwavering, follows his every move, its body tensed, ready to strike. The water, dark and murky, seems to press in on him, suffocating him, amplifying his terror. Jeffrey continues his slow retreat, each inch a victory. The alligator, although still a menacing presence, hasn't initiated a second attack. He's winning, at least for now, but the river is vast and the surface seems impossibly far away. His air supply, though plentiful at the start of the dive, is dwindling with every panicked breath. He kicks off the bottom gently, propelling himself backward, his eyes never leaving the massive predator. The gator shifts slightly, its tail swishing through the water, stirring up silt that clouds the already murky depths. Jeffrey freezes, his heart pounding against his ribs. The gator seems agitated, its black eyes burning with a cold reptilian intelligence. He has to reach the surface, has to get out of this watery death trap. But he can't show fear, can't give the gator any reason to attack again. He takes another slow, measured breath, willing himself to remain calm, to think clearly. His survival depends on it. Jeffrey knows time is running out. He glances upward, the surface a shimmering mirage in the distance. His lungs burn with each breath, his body screaming for oxygen. He has to make his move, has to risk it. With a burst of adrenaline, he kicks off the bottom, propelling himself upward, away from the lurking danger. He doesn't dare look back, doesn't want to know if the gator is pursuing him. He swims with every ounce of strength he can muster, his arms and legs pumping furiously. The water rushes past him, a deafening roar in his ears. The pressure lessens with every foot of ascent, a physical reminder that he's moving towards safety. He breaks the surface with a gasp, sucking in lungfuls of sweet, glorious air. His vision blurs, his chest heaves as he fights for breath. He glances beneath himself. After the attack, the gator just looked at Haim and seemingly lost interest in the diver. The gator began moving away, and Haim swam towards shore. He tears off his mask, the world snapping back into focus, the colours vibrant after the muted tones of the river. He's alive, he made it, but the encounter, the terror, will forever be etched in his memory. Jeffrey hauls himself onto the shore, his body trembling with exhaustion and relief. He collapses onto land, his heart still racing, the encounter replaying in his mind. The sunlight feels warm on his skin, a stark contrast to the cold, murky depths he just escaped. He's shaken, forever changed by his brush with death. The fracture of his skull required 34 staples to close the wound. The scar, a physical manifestation of his ordeal, will forever serve as a reminder of the power of nature, of the respect it demands. He stares out at the placid surface of the river, now deceptively serene, hiding the danger that lurks beneath. He knows he's lucky to be alive. He went into the river, seeking remnants of the past, but he emerged with a profound respect for the present, for the raw power of nature, and for the preciousness of life. Authorities believe the animal was guarding its nest or young. Haim said the gator bit him twice on the head, but he used his hand to protect his face. I think my hand may have protected my face because I got a puncture wound in the top and a puncture wound in the bottom of his hand. But it just happened so fast there was no way I could have defended myself, he said. On land, 4 people helped Haim. They called 911 and he was transported to the hospital. In the ambulance, Haim struggled to remain conscious but could tell paramedics were concerned. He knows he will never forget his encounter with the alligator, a creature that forced him to confront his own mortality, that reminded him of the wildness that still exists in the world. It's very scary when you ask someone, am I going to be okay? And they hesitate, says Haim. Haim said he's lucky the gator didn't bite an arm, hand, leg or his neck, or perform a deadly death roll, which likely would have increased his injuries. Your life is worth more than any shark tooth, he said, reflecting on risking diving in the river during gator breeding season. Thank you for joining us on Savage Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible animal encounters. What are your thoughts on Jeffrey's story? Share your comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay safe and stay wild.